Want to make a podcast? Spotify's got a platform that lets you make one super easily, then distribute it anywhere and everywhere. You can even earn money all in one place for free. It's called Spotify for Podcasters, and here's how it works.
Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today.
Then you can go ahead and distribute your podcast to Spotify and anywhere else podcasts are heard.
Video podcasts are also available on Spotify. And when you want to take the conversation with your fans to the next level, Q&A polls are the best way to get them talking.
With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions.
And best of all, it's totally free with no catch. We've been using Spotify for Podcasters, and we highly recommend you give it a try. Download Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters and get started.
Welcome back, my Fringy friends. I'm Bethany.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Rick.
And we're so happy you've joined us for another Fringy Morsel. So we are going to talk today about the after-school Satan Club that is taking place all over America currently.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing, honestly, till you sent it to me, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, well, it's a thing. And it actually started, fun fact, in 2016 in Washington State.
Oh,
it
that makes more
lasted
sense.
for like not even a full school year. And then they decided, nope, we're not doing it anymore. Came back in 2022 last year. And now it's running rampant.
Yeah. And I think I saw something on the news, but, then Kristen started talking to me about it, and I was like, "This is weird. Why this all of a sudden is a thing where they're doing this?" And I didn't know about the 2016 thing, so thanks for bringing that. But I was like, "This seems like there's so much Satan stuff. It's blatantly all of a sudden, right?"
Yeah.
I mean, it seems like the Satanic Temple is more bold than they've ever been. They're doing, satanic rituals and weird things during Super Bowls and during the Grammys. Yep. And I'm just like, what is up with this whole Satan thing? So did you get to look at the website?
Yeah. So the obviously we know the Satanic Temple has their own website. This is kind of like an offshoot specifically for the After School Satan Club, ASSC.
So I think the first thing you sent me was this Colorado's first ever after school Satan Club to launch at ... elementary school.
Boom. Yep. Elementary
school. Because I remember when I was in school, we had this weird, it wasn't anything organized, but they called it Wiccan Wednesday, where it was like people could go and be like a good witch. This is real. This is a real thing. And people could go and like practice how to be a good witch and blah, blah, blah.
They did not do this at your school.
It wasn't at the school, but it was people that went to the school.
Okay.
So anyway.
Shocking.
Right. But it was like nothing. That was in high school. This is at elementary school. So this is kindergarten through 5th grade.
Yes.
According to this article.
Yep. And the founder of it, his name is funny. It's Lucian Reese is his name. So an adult man in his, I don't know how old he is, probably at least 40s, who organized this after school Satan Club. And they're educating with Satan, is their saying.
Oh.
What is happening?
I watched a video of this guy doing a podcast, and he looks like a militant, like he's bald and And I'm like, who is this guy? This is the guy that's interested in after school programs?
Yeah.
Like, what are you talking about? I don't know any. I mean, I've worked with after school programs, and it's mostly white women in the communities that I've been in. And there's not some bald militant looking dude standing there just like, hello, children. Welcome to Satan's Tavern.
Super weird. Super weird.
Was that off the rails a little bit?
No,
Not
but it
at
should be
all.
called the Manticore's Tavern.
Oh, Manticore's Tavern. I like that.
I mean, I'm all for like, yeah, do whatever you want to do, but like advertising it at school, you can't even pray at the schools here where we live.
Right.
You can't even have an after school Christian club, let alone pray on school grounds.
No, they have like a kid group that it's like a, I don't know, Good News, whatever, evangelical type kid group, but they can't do it on school property, and you have to sign a permission slip because there happens to be a church in walking distance. So basically they walk your kids over to the church for like a 10-minute lesson, and then they bring them back.
Yeah,
because you can't do anything like that on school property,
right?
These are taking place at the school.
Yes, like in the gyms. I mean, there's a couple of them there. I know that recently there was one in, I think, Pennsylvania and Virginia. Obviously, the Colorado one. I mean, it just seems weird to me that it's happening at school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I was looking at their website, and I wanted to, kind of be the devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
I see what you did there.
Just be like, hey, what is their, where are they coming from? Who am I to judge them when I haven't even given them a look? So I was looking it up, and the one in Colorado was, there was some kid that was telling this other kid that he was going to go to hell if he didn't believe in Jesus, and it was like super militant fundamentalist Christianity, so they were saying that this was a response to this militant Christianity being pushed into the schools. And so I was like, okay, I can get on board with that. I don't really like militant Christianity. Like, what's that about? And so I was like, okay, let's give them the benefit of the doubt. They just want to say, hey, if you can do that, then we can do this. Well, it's kind of a weird gesture, if you ask me,
Right.
It's like, I see what you're saying, but what you're doing seems kind of malicious,
Right.
It's in direct response to, it's not like, hey, we had this idea for this cool club. It was, we don't like your club, so we're going to make our own club. That's the opposite. And I don't like the whole, guilt-driven gospel either, that like turn or burn type of mentality. I don't like that either, because I think especially for children, it can be terrifying. I remember being scared, and that's like, I think I was saying on one of the earlier episodes, I prayed the prayer to go to heaven, to accept Jesus, like 700 times, because I was like, I really don't want to go to hell, so I'm going to just keep praying this. Like, that's going to get me in, right? And I remember it being terrifying. I understand it now as an adult, so I get their grievance, I guess, with the way some of these things can come across, but it seems very vindictive to start another club just because you don't like this club.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what I don't understand. It's like we're not saying that you can't have a club, but I started reading further down on their website, and it says that they don't even believe in Satan.
Oh my gosh.
It says it right here on their website. We don't even believe in Satan. We actually they don't think that he's a real entity.
Yeah, it says here in the article, we are a religious organization. We are a church. We have deeply held religious beliefs. However, we're non-theistic. We don't believe Satan is real. We don't believe in the supernatural. Satan is a symbol of standing up to the tyrannical. That's a quote from their version.
So it's anarchy and chaos.
Yes. Yep.
That's what that's what they just said that they believe. But then listen to what they say that they do at their club. The After School Satan Club does not believe in introducing religion into public schools and will only open a club if other religious groups are operating on campus. ASSC exists to provide a safe and inclusive alternative to the religious clubs that use threats of eternal damnation to convert school children to their belief systems. Unlike our counterparts, who publicly measure their success in young children's professions of faith, the After School Satan Club program focuses on science, critical thinking, creative arts, and good works for the community. While engaging in all of these activities, we want club goers to have a good time. So they're saying that they are a Satan club, and they're only going to do that in places where these Christian clubs are. So as we said before, that seems a bit childish. First of all. Second of all, if you want to promote all of those things that you listed down below, like science and critical thinking and creative arts and good works for the community, then why do you have to use Satan's name?
Right.
Exactly. Right. Exactly.
Like what? And why does your mascot have to be a goat or a ram?
Doing, mind you, the Baphomet signs, right?
Yeah.
If you're not familiar with Baphomet, go do a quick Google search. That's who...
You've seen Baphomet. You just might not have known you've seen Baphomet.
Yes, exactly. So, yeah, it all just seems super weird to me. And they keep bringing in, like, education. Like, we want to be in the education system. Like, but for why?
Well,
I mean, think about it, guys.
Like, we want to have science and critical thinking and all that. That to me implies that as Christians, we don't have that, which kind of ticks me off.
Oh, come on.
I'm a very critical thinker.
Right.
No, but I mean, like, they have this polarization between science and religion, and there doesn't have to be. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why are we drawing a firm line in the sand here?
Well, I mean, it's been proven time and time again that, people will make these large decrees from the Bible, say, like, I don't know, the earth is flat and there's a firmament that covers the earth, and it was made by God, and there's water above it and there's water below it, blah blah blah, everybody, whatever. So you say that, and that's your scientific truth from the Bible. And then somebody comes in later and makes up this crazy theory, and then everybody's like, yeah, because go science. But it's like, where did all that information come from?
Right. I've lost a little faith in the scientific method, honestly, in the last few years, because there's a lot of science out there that just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and we're going to get into all of that crazy stuff that I just said in a later episode, because we're going to have Flat Earth Dave on. Did you guys know that? Flat Earth Dave's coming on, and it's going to be a good time. This guy is a lot of fun, and he's very knowledgeable. But not to turn this into a flat Earth thing, my point is that when you have control of science, you have control of minds. When you control what people believe to be true about where they live, about how their world works, about all of those things, when you control the mind of a person, like we've talked about in our MK Ultra stuff and the trigger words and all these different things, we're making full circles here. When you begin to say, oh, we're just doing equality and we want to focus on science, and they're talking about, we want to control your mind, because focusing on equality means what we want you to believe is equality, or what we want you to believe is science. And so that's why Satan's name is attached to it, is because it's all about control. But they're trying to package it in a way that seems very palatable and easy to consume.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially for kids. Like, come have fun with us. Be who you want to be. Their kids are already struggling with so many things these days. I can't imagine being a child in 2023. Like, no, thank you. But this is just another, like, I don't know. I don't like it. Parents, I don't like it.
Yeah, well, and a shout out to the churches out there, if your guys' youth programs didn't suck so bad, these kids wouldn't be out in the world doing all these crazy things. Like, if you guys were actually teaching the Bible and actually making going there fun and engaging, and come on, you guys need to step it up, because our younger generation needs you.
Well, in this younger generation, they have a different mind than, prior generations, because they have technology. So they need more mental stimulation than I think a lot of our generation understands. Like,
yeah, I mean, come on, you can't play these same games that we played back when you and I were going to youth group. Like, that stuff is
and these kids have a 15-second time frame that their attention span is nothing, because they're used to a TikTok video. Yeah. And if a TikTok video is more than 30 seconds, they're not watching it because it's not funny anymore.
Swipe it away.
Yeah. It's like, whoa, I haven't even got to the good part yet. And I find myself even doing that sometimes. I'm like, oh, this video's been going on forever. Oh, it's only been 12 seconds.
Yeah. Well, and that's what they do. They're swiping away Jesus because it's not funny. It's not interesting. There's no cats involved. And
I'm on a raccoon kick, actually.
She is. I'd like to. She wants to own a raccoon.
It's illegal in this state. I already looked.
Oh,
I can't
my
have
gosh.
one.
Praise the Lord.
Have you seen how cute their little hands are?
I don't want to talk about this.
All right.
Getting back to the subject. So this Satan program does not have to be in the name of Satan, and it doesn't have to be connected to like all of these superficial things like, community and love and blah, blah, blah. Like,
science.
No, I want to see your curriculum. Like, I want to see what you're talking to these kids about. And they're saying, we don't want to bring religion to the school. We want to take the kids out of the school and take them somewhere else. So, and you're just like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. And if this isn't making people feel weird, then you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Whoa.
Yeah. They have a couple things on their website, like PDFs that you can click on and download. One of them is a comparison of the After School Satan Club to the Good News Club. And it has like columns, one with the Satan Club, one with the Good News Club, and check marks next to, and questions. One of them talks about the curriculum and where it comes from, and adheres to a rigid nationally established curriculum. Check mark by the Good News Club, not a check mark by the Satan Club. So what is their curriculum? Like you said, I don't think
there is no set curriculum. It's basically people get to pick whatever they want to do. I'm like, why don't we just call it, like, I don't know, Friday night arts and crafts? Like, why does it have to be called the Satan Club?
Yeah.
Like, that in itself is programming. Just to call it the Satan Club and have all these weird little Satan. And Bethany, do you have the jingle that you can pull up?
I do have the jingle.
I only listened to a few seconds of this jingle and I was like, okay, it's kind of catchy, but I feel weird in my soul, so I didn't listen to the whole thing.
It is definitely catchy, but I think this is actually like a long. I need to find just the jingle part, but.
Well, I was looking at the website, and then it goes, that website's actually connected to their main website. And so their main website, is the satanic.
Oh, is that the satanictemple.com?
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It actually goes back to the satanictemple.com. And
so is this their way of going, we're not teaching about Satan in the Satan after school thing, but if you click this link to go to the homepage, this is how you get to the Satanic Temple. This seems like...
Yeah.
Yes, they're dropping flyers, putting stickers on people's cars going, hey, after school Satan Club.
Satan Club.
Yeah. God.
I just don't understand why it has to be called that. That's a cute little cartoon Satan, but he's holding up the Baphomet symbol.
Yes, he is.
He doesn't really... he's got a little graduation cap on. He's got a little red bow tie. He's totally not scary at all.
Mm-hmm.
So then we go, okay, as a Christian community, what do we do? So I had a thought earlier that I was super like outraged when I first was reading about this. And then I thought that's probably what they want us to do, right? They want us to be outraged. They want us to be like further polarizing the whole situation. Like, what are we going to do as Christians? Are we going to stand arm in arm in front of the school and, like picket or, hold up signs that we don't like the Satan Club? And then what happens? Well, the news people come in and they put pictures of all these Christians out there holding their signs, and we look like the crazy people, right? Because that's their plan this whole time is to make us seem like we are crazy. We're not scientific. We're not critical thinkers. We don't have all of these things that the Satan Club has to offer. So then realistically, I have a hard time with then what do we do? Well, I don't know. We pray for them, obviously, but that doesn't seem like enough. But I definitely don't think that, I don't know. It just makes me feel like they're trying to get us to play into their hand.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. And, it's getting a lot of media attention. It's getting our attention. And maybe you're right in that way that we should probably check ourselves before we wreck ourselves.
Okay, that's twice.
Wow.
That's twice.
You can't say that. You can't say that twice in one
Word
podcast.
of the day is check yourself. You can't say it anymore.
Okay.
On the list.
So what I was getting at okay, we need to maybe check our hearts and say, okay, do we even need to play into this at all? And maybe we as Christians need to focus on our own homes, our own households.
Well, and making sure, like we've said before, that you're educated about it. So having knowledge is how we combat this whole spiritual war that's going on, because they don't even want us to think that there's a spiritual war going on, let alone figure out how to arm ourselves. And how to arm yourselves is, putting on the full armor of God, like the Bible talks about. But how many of us realistically do that every day? I don't. I forget about it, and it'll be like halfway through the day and something shitty happens and I'm like, oh gosh, I forgot to put on my breastplate of righteousness. You just,
you're killing me.
Sorry, I'm on one tonight.
Yeah, it's true though. I mean, we gotta realize that this Jesus character was real, and all this stuff that we're seeing going on around us it's really happening. Satan is pushing an agenda. He's been doing it for a long time.
He's a lot smarter than we are.
Yeah, and there's a battle going on, and if that battle is acknowledged by you or not, doesn't actually make any difference. It's still happening. It's still going on, and it's might be covert, it might be supernatural. Just because you don't see it happening doesn't mean it's not happening.
Right. And Bethany can probably speak more on this, but the whole idea of these entities and giving them your energy, giving them your time, giving them space in your brain, that's what they need. That's what gives them power. That's what, that's how they get a foothold. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I tell my 13-year-old son all the time, don't let the devil live rent-free in your head.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Tell him he's not allowed there, because he's not. And he has no authority. And if people would just realize the authority that they have in Jesus Christ, I think people would live differently. But it's hard sometimes.
Yeah.
It's hard to, and you sound crazy because regular church doesn't really talk about that. So
yeah. And everybody looks at you like, dude, this guy is nuts. He's off his rocker, which it's, what? I'm at the point now where I'm just fine with it. I don't even care anymore. Like, I know who my savior is. I know who my king is, my high priest. I know all of that. Like, I don't have to worry about what Satan's doing or what all these other people are doing, because I know who I am. But my mission now is to tell that to everybody else. to help everybody else get to the place of peace that you get when you know what is actually happening. And now you can just sit back and watch and laugh because you know that these Satanists are just trying to poke the bear. And you know what happens to those Satan clubs when all of us Americans wake up to what they're doing? They just fade away because nobody's talking about them and nobody's showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't think we need to really worry about it that much. I think it is kind of dumb that it leads right to the satanic website. I don't really think that should be something that should be anywhere near accessible to elementary school kids, because they have further down, they have their weddings, rituals and things that they do. And if you're over, I'd say 18, you could probably go look at those pictures and figure out that these guys they believe in Satan, and they don't believe in doing good for humanity. They believe in controlling humanity through mind control, like we've been talking about. So don't let them control your mind. Like, understand it. Don't be outraged by it. Understand it, be knowledgeable of it, and then move on with your life, living good to everybody around you.
Preach.
I mean, that would be my advice.
Right.
I agree.
If anybody
Absolutely
cares.
Did anybody ask for Rick's advice? Raise your hand if you asked for Rick's advice.
Oh, we didn't push record?
Shut up. You're
Both. All right, you guys. Well, I think we're going to wrap this one up. That was a pretty fun morsel.
It was a good morsel.
So let us know if you're liking these morsels, or if you don't really like them, if you'd want more episodes that are maybe interviews or maybe long-form conversations.
We're going to continue a little bit on the CIA projects. We have a couple more of those we want to get out. We have some more guests coming on that are going to be awesome. Rick's super excited about Flat Earth Dave. Dan? Dave.
Shout out Flat Earth Podcast.
He's going to be on the show.
I know. I'm just getting people psyched.
You already got him.
I don't have him, man. All right, you guys are silly. That was fun.
We're on one tonight. We should probably go to bed.
All right, you guys. I'm Rick.
I'm Kristen.
And I'm Bethany.
And that's the That's So Fringy podcast, Fringy Morsel. Yeah, yeah, yeah.